It's Thursday, 11th of November. This is John Costa, the editor of Citizen's Eye, and we're here in the Coffee Republic shop on Granby Street, and we're catching up at our community news cafe with Cllr Rory Palmer. Good morning, Rory.
Morning, John.
Now, thanks for coming down and supporting the community news cafe. Great little model that we've got here, and we're rolling it out in Community Media Week across 16 venues across the city. Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you this morning was briefly about September was Older Persons Month. Now, could you give us an update on how things went and maybe looking forward to the future?
Older Persons Month this year was fantastic. We had literally hundreds of events across the city, ranging from tea dances to events about health and keeping healthy, community safety events with the police, cookery demonstrations, big public debates, a fantastic event looking at the history of the cooperative movement in the city as well. And I think, we've got to build on that. We're going to make next year's Older Persons Month even better. We've got to think about how we involve you guys in the community media movement in that, and particularly how we get older people involved in that, building on the fantastic success you guys have built with Cllr and the important role they play now, but looking at how we get more older people involved in all this fantastic technology, making YouTube videos, getting on Twitter, blogging, because there's really big conversations to be had out there about the future, and I want older people to be part of that conversation. I want them to tell us what they want the council to do, what they want other public services to do, what their priorities are in the community. So Older Persons Month was all about that. That's what it needs to be about going forward next year, and I know next year will be even better, but this year was a fantastic success, and I would just say a really big thank you to all the volunteers who made it happen.
Now, you've got a forum from older people, and how often does that meet?
We meet every other month at the town hall. It's a really active, enjoyable, busy meeting. A very fantastic, committed group of regular attenders who come along and tell us what they think about different council services, whether that's housing, the buses, environmental services, rubbish collections, the whole raft of services. And for me as a councillor, it's a really important meeting. It's really, really strong, well-expressed views about services. We take that on board, and we use that meeting, in a really big, important way in the way we make policy and make decisions about services. But those guys have now told us they want to see modern technology used a bit more. So I know we're going to invite you guys along, and you're going to tell people about blogs, YouTubes, Twitter, and all the other fantastic platforms now available to people to get involved in public conversations and shaping the future of the city.
Now, how do you join the forum? Is it open to members of the public, or is it kind of like a body of people that have come together to have a conversation?
No, it's generally a public meeting. Some people are there representing specific groups and organisations, but it really is informal. People can come along from any part of the city. Details are on the council website, and if people are interested, they can contact the town hall or contact me, and we'll get details sent out. But it's a really lively, friendly bunch of people. We have a cup of tea and a few biscuits beforehand. In our December meeting, we have some mince pies and maybe a glass of sherry or two as well. So it's a really sociable occasion as well, and I really enjoy the meetings, and they're very friendly, and I'd really encourage people to get involved.
Now, we were talking earlier about Community Media Week and how we're taking this on a 1-hour community news cafe model, hopefully to all the 22 wards across the city, and encourage people to have community conversations and not write articles, but sometimes just digitally voice record them and transcribe them and things like that, and try and capture a lot more stuff. If we found people when we're going around these community news cafes that were interested in coming along to the forum for older people, they're able to come along because it is a public meeting.
Absolutely, it is a public meeting, and we know that from the work you've done over the past couple of years, you've unearthed masses of talent out there in our communities, citizen reporters, people who want to make their voice heard and the views of their community known through a whole raft of different platforms. And I'd welcome people coming along to the Older Persons Forum, whether that's to express their views or whether they want to write an article for their local community newsletter or one of your blogs. That'd be fantastic. We want to get word out there, but it's not just about the council talking to people, it's about them giving us views back and having a conversation. That's what this is all about.
Now, I've worked quite closely with Simon Parker from Leicester Libraries, does their community engagement, and we've tried over the last 2 years to take something like Refugee Week and take it from a week where we're trying to highlight the issues around things like refugees and asylum seekers, and try and make it into a celebration event of what's happened the previous 51 weeks, and then look forward to what we're doing. Now, Older Persons Month, obviously, is a much longer period of time. Do you think there's more that we could do to celebrate the success of what happens throughout the year, and rather than making it a month of raising those issues, it's also celebrating and then looking forward and maybe setting some sort of milestones to achieve in the next 12 months?
That's a really important point and a good question, because we know so much happens in this city, particularly through the voluntary and community sector and all those hundreds of groups we've got in every corner of the city. And it's right that we have these weeks, which are particular milestones on the calendar where we do celebrate different issues and where we do reflect on priorities and have public debates. But yeah, it is important we look can we make those things more sustainable. Older Persons Month's a good example. You know, it's not just a week, it is a whole month, but of course groups and the council and organisations and community are working all year round to provide services and engage older people. And likewise with Refugee Week, you know, there's groups like City of Sanctuary working all year round on doing some really, really important, valuable work in our community. So it is important how we explore how we keep that going and how we keep those conversations going, so we don't just have these quick weeks of intense attention, but actually, you know, we look at how we engage people in those debates, in those dialogues, you know, through the year. And I think, you know, modern technology and the work you do here at Citizen Tie is really important in making that happen.
Great, thanks very much, Rory.
Thank you, John.